So happy Monday, and we'll get started moving. If you want to just bring your feet to shoulder width, and we'll kind of set up our body a little bit today. Relax your knees. Too often we forget and we're all stiff and not relaxed in the knees. Bring your hips to neutral so your tailbone's neither forward nor backward. And then just let your arms hang naturally from the shoulders. Just let them hang down. And then we'll imagine that something is just lifting us from the crown of our head, just lifting up. At the same time, the rest of our body is just grounded, being pulled down to the earth. At the same time, we feel that gentle tug just from the top of our head. And you may notice that maybe your neck straightens just a little bit, not straight. Maybe your chin tucks just a little bit, not tucked, but just a little pull back. Basically the opposite of the head forward posture that we spend all the time looking at our screens. So that lifting up from above is kind of the counterbalance to being grounded on the earth. And then let's just move a little bit. So we'll do two hands hold up heaven. So fingers interlaced, palms up. We'll just bring those hands up the midline, so up the sternum. Then when you get the palms underneath the chin, maybe lift the shoulders a little bit, see if you can make some room, and then turn the palms forward, and then press up and push up. Really lift up the ceiling and the sky, and then relax. And as you come down and float down, just bend your knees a lot, just almost like landing on the earth. And then we'll repeat. So fingers interlaced, come up the midline, lifting up, turning, and then pushing up, really pressing up. And then relax, release, and just float back down on the sides, bending your knees a lot. One more time, we'll lift up, coming up along the midline, and then pushing up, two hands, hold up heavens, and then relax, release, and just float back down. We'll carry mountains, so bring your arms out to shoulder height, palms up, and we'll just turn and twist. And as you turn, relax your knees and bend, almost like you're augering yourself into the ground, drilling yourself into the ground. And then we'll come back to center, moving really slow. Arms at shoulder height, arms in line with the collarbones. Just turning and twisting. Coming back to center, and then slowly moving to the other side and just letting yourself go down as you go back to turn and twist and look back. And then back to center. Other side, so just lower, turn and twist. You may notice the position of your tailbone, and if it's going back, that's fine, that's good. But if you want a different sensation, maybe as you turn and twist, keep your tailbone forward, keep your tailbone tucked. And it just changes the dynamics of the lower body just by changing that pelvic tilt. So just explore, see how that feels different. Let's do one more, so this will be the last side. Back to center. And then release your arms at your sides. Maybe shake just a little bit because that does work on strengthening your shoulders. So let's push out walls. So now the energy comes from the base of the palm. So push out just like you're literally pushing out the walls. Lifting your chest, expanding up. And then we'll contract the body back. See if you can bring your fingertips towards the inside of your forearms. Tuck your tailbone around your spine. Just coming to a little ball, bending your knees a lot. And then we'll reverse. So we'll push out, expand, make yourself as big as you can. Take up as much space as possible. And then we'll contract back. This time making yourself as small as possible. Tiny little ball. And then we'll push out. Full extension. Everything extended. And then we'll contract back, everything flexed. Just that opposition. Push out again. It's the yin and the yang, the expansion and contraction. So as we contract back, this will be the last time. Just make yourself really small. Tuck your tailbone around your back. And then come up and just relax. Relax your arms along your sides. You can bring your hands, palms up to the side of your ribs. We'll offer a plate to either side. So I'm going to go to the left first. I'm taking my right hand and offering to the left. Shoulder height, just like you had a cup of water on top of a plate. And then come back to center. I'll take my left hand and offer to the right. Once again, just like you're serving a teacup full of water or tea. Out to the side. Kind of reset, bend the knees as you come back into the body, and then extend up and out and over as you reach to the side. Once again, bend the knees, kind of reset. Everything's that constant motion of opening and closing, expanding and contracting. We'll do one more to the side. Opening, over, extending. And then back to center. So we'll take our hitchhiker thumbs. One thumb up, one thumb down. See if you can bring those thumbs as far apart as possible. And then once again, relax the knees, almost contract the body, coming back in. Then we'll expand up again with the top thumb, pushing up, the bottom thumb pushing down. And then back to center. Expand up, push down. And then back to center, resetting, bending the knees. Up. And then back down. So you're stretching the side, but it's not a side bend. It's up and down. Last one. One thumb up, one thumb down, and then relax. Come back to center. Just relax your hands at their sides. We'll do a little washcloth, so bring your arms out, shoulder height, and I'm going to turn my left thumb forward, down, and then up. So now I have it up. Now I'm going to rinse the shoulders. Just twisting and turning from side to side. See if you can relax your shoulders down and see if it allows just a little more rotation of that shoulder. It's tempting to want to exert, to force it to turn more. But sometimes it seems as though the less we try, the more we can get out of a stretch or a motion or a rotation or a movement. Just relaxing into that. One more. So last side. And then release. Slowly lower your arms. Relax the whole body. So let's zip up one side and zip down the other. So just hand down, tracing down the outside of the pant seam, the other hand coming up the rib cage and the side of the body. Now we're into a full side bend, and then zip the other side up. You can push your hips over if it feels right. If it compresses or binds, you don't have to add the hips. You can just do the ribs and the side body. Or you can add the hips if it feels good. Keeping the knees soft and bent. Just do whatever feels right. Going really slow, just exploring how that spine is bending from side to side. So it's not a forward bend or a back bend, it's just on the side. It doesn't matter how far down we're going or how far up. It's just, what does that spine feel like? Trying to keep that healthy and lubricated. All those little, tiny little ligaments shifting, hydrating. So last one, we'll come back to center. Now we can zip up both sides. So bring your hands along the rib cage, up the rib cage, up to the armpits, and then fingers maybe to the inside of the forearms, and then release and just relax and float back down, bending the knees a lot. We'll zip up both sides, lifting the shoulders, hands underneath, and then float back down. Good. Just up and then releasing down. So maybe some tension going up. And then just releasing and relaxing as we come back down and grounding. Do one more. Zip up. And then relax. Release. So let's tickle the bottom of a rainbow. So bring your chi ball up. Imagine you have a beach ball, chi ball, energy ball between your hands. And get it above your head. And just imagine that you're tickling the bottom of a rainbow. You can almost channel being seaweed in the ocean, just moving with the waves back and forth, really slow from side to side. You can feel the weight transfer from foot to foot, or you can stay evenly grounded from side to side. Whatever feels good. This is just to tickle the bottom of the rainbow. See if you can open up. Be aware of that movement. The subtle little postural muscles in the legs and the side. And then we'll come back to center. And then just lower that chi ball back down. Slowly back down. So instead of going to the gym and doing military press, we'll just tickle rainbows. It feels about the same as if you did that press at the gym. So let's bring our hands to heart center, and we'll push our elbows from side to side. So this is not a twist, this is from side to side. So you can keep your forearms in line with your collarbone. So elbow goes to one side, hip goes to the other side. Bend your knees, relax down. Just go slow. Just explore how you're adding joints. One by one, as your elbow goes over, hip goes in the opposite direction. You can feel that clear down to your toes if you soften and just relax. The ankles bending, the knees bending, obviously the hips. Then the shoulders opening too. Relax down, soften down as the elbow goes over and the hip goes in the opposite direction. Once again, you can explore maybe where the tailbone's pointing. So if the tailbone's pointing back, try tucking the tailbone. Just see how that feels. Or if you've been tucking the tailbone, untuck it just to see how that feels. Just move and see what it takes to have the body feel good. Moving those hips around, opening the shoulders. We'll do one more, so last side, over, and then back to center. Release your hands at the side. Maybe shake a little bit if it feels good. And we'll make our way to the top of the mat. And we'll do a little yoga flow, just a little one. So at the top of the mat, come to mountain pose, so feet shoulder width, almost the same setup as we did to set up for Qigong. So we'll lift our arms up into upward salute. This time, see if you can reach the fingertips and touch the ceiling. And then fold, gently fold forward. It's our first fold, so go slow, relax, bend your knees a lot. Really bend the knees. And just relax, fold forward. Take a moment just to maybe rock forward and backward. Wiggle a little bit. See what feels good. And then we'll come into half lift, so you can bring your hands to your shins or your thighs, or along your sides, your hip creases, whatever feels good. But just imagine that you have an extension. Our spine is not straight, but from the crown of your head to your tailbone is a line of energy that feels like it's elongating, just getting longer. And then release, relax, bend your knees. So we'll step back with the right foot, and then spin the right foot, set up for warrior two. And we'll slowly come up and start to set up our body for warrior two. So tucking the tailbone, just slowly bending that left leg as we sink down into warrior two, noticing the front of the right hip as we tuck that tailbone. Now we can add the arms to come into warrior two, but you can add your arms that's in line with the hips, and they won't be facing the front of the mat. We have to actually turn and twist our upper body to end up in that warrior two. So let's go back to where the arms are in line with the hips, and then twist the body back to come into warrior two, where the front hand's over that front knee, back hand with the energy back. And then we can either straighten the front knee to come into reverse warrior, or stay down, stay low, but reach up higher. And then we'll set up for extended side angle. So bring the outside of your left forearm to the top of your left thigh, right hand to your sacrum, that spot at the top, the pelvis behind. And just take a moment to feel your opening to the side. That hand on the sacrum will help you know that you're opening that upper body. So now if it's comfortable, available, you can lift your top hand, palm facing forward for a side angle. Or if it's comfortable, you can bring it over your head, thumb up. You don't have to though, just whatever feels good. So let's bring the hand back to the sacrum, right hand back to the sacrum. We'll slowly come up, come into warrior two. Then we'll turn our palms outward, so thumbs up. We're going to repeat this on the other side, but first we'll swing up and kind of come into maybe a warrior one. But now we'll drop and reverse to the other side. So right hand facing forward, left arm facing back. So it's kind of a warrior two, only with a twist. Now let that left hand drop, right hand reach up at 45. Thumbs up. Now bring your arms up into warrior one. We'll plant our hands, step the right foot forward, and we'll just hang into forward fold. Just releasing, relaxing, bending your knees a lot. See if you can bring your chest closer to your top of your thighs. Just relaxing. Now come up into half lift. Once again, long energy from the crown of your head back through your tailbone. Fold forward again, releasing, relaxing, bending. Now keeping your knees bent, we'll swoop up, coming into an upward salute. Once again, reaching really high, reaching high. And we'll do the other side, so fold forward, bending, softening, relaxing. Now half lift, long energy. Hands to the shins, the thighs, the hip creases. Bend forward, forward fold, plant your hands, step your left foot back. Spin your left foot, we'll come up, get set up for warrior two on this side. So once again, tucking our tailbone, just noticing how that changes that sensation in the front of the hip on the left side by tucking that tailbone. Maybe changes our forward-backward orientation of our spine just by tucking that tailbone. So just work with it, just notice. And we'll set up for warrior two. So once again, arms out in line with the hips. So it's not warrior two yet. We have to turn and twist our upper body to bring our front hand over our front knee. Back hand reaching back over towards the back of the mat. Now we can either straighten our front knee or not, lift up into reverse warrior, humble warrior, reaching up really high. We'll set up for extended side angle, so the outside of the right forearm to the top of the right thigh, left hand to the sacrum. Once again, just taking a moment to notice the opening of the side body with the hand back on the sacrum. Maybe just playing and adjusting. Little slight movements. And you can lift your left hand up, palm forward, for your side angle, or over your head. Long line of energy from the blade of your foot out through to your fingertips. Bring your hand back to the sacrum. Slowly lift up. Warrior two. Once again, just take a moment to notice. Now turn the palms out, thumbs up. We're kind of in a warrior two, but maybe crossing guard. So now we'll swing up into warrior one. And now to the opposite side, to the right. Thumbs up. And now back, looking back, dropping down, both hands at 45, thumbs up. And then back up into warrior one. Releasing your hands to the mat, bring your foot, bring the left foot forward. Hanging forward fold. Just release, relax. Just take a moment to relax. Bend your knees, soften. Maybe a little acupressure massage if you want to bring your hands and give yourself a massage right behind the knees, in that soft place behind the knees. Now bring your thoughts and your intention for relaxing and releasing the lower back, those muscles from the mid-back down to the top of the pelvis, just gently massaging the back of the knees, releasing and relaxing. Now to half lift. So once again, energy long from the crown of the head back through the tailbone. Release your hands to the mat, forward fold. Now with your knees bent and soft, we'll swoop our arms up, upward salute, reaching high, and then release. Relax your arms at your sides. And set up to come in wide part of our mat. So step out to the wide part of your mat and we'll set up for garland. So yogi squat. And if you need to use a chair, you can sit in the chair, just sit towards the front of the chair and see if you can increase, using your elbows, just increase that openness and that relaxation in the hips. If you need to bring a cushion or block, blanket, do that for the back of your heels. We'll just spend a minute here, and maybe not a minute, but at least a few breaths. Just opening. You can kind of reset. Something that you can experiment or play with is how wide are your feet and which are your toes facing out a lot. Maybe reset having your feet maybe with your toes not pointing out quite so wide, or maybe wider yet. But just see how that changes the sensation in the hip. You may find it more comfortable or more relaxed in one position or another. It's not really right or wrong as long as it's not causing pain or injury, but it's how our bodies are built. We are anatomically similar, but certainly not the same, obviously. We're all different. We need to celebrate that. So let's slowly come up now. If you need to put in your hands to the mat to come up, we'll slowly come up. And we'll do a Qigong movement called blooming flowers. So for that, we're going to reach down and scoop up some water, keeping our knees somewhat straight, not locked out, but somewhat straight. Now, if it's available, you can squat down because that water is really heavy. And then come up, bringing that water up the stem, out the leaves, and then let it rain. Let those fingertips just flutter and dance as it's raining and coming back down again. And then we'll bend down, scoop the water. And it's heavy. You don't have to, but if you would like to, you can squat down. Bring that water up the stem, out the leaves, fluttering. Just let it rain. Gentle, soft, nice little rain. Once again. Bend down, scoop the water up the stem, out the leaves, and let it rain. Last one. Bend down, scoop a whole lot of water. Bring it up the stem, out the leaves, and let it rain. So we'll set up to do our balance. Point to the moon and embrace the moon. So we did this last week. We'll do it twice per side. So bring your hands, should start back in neutral. So feet shoulder width, hands at heart center. Step the left foot out and forward just a little bit, 45 degrees. Orient the whole body towards the left because that's the direction we're going to point. Now use those hands to just point at the moon. And imagine that line of energy from the back foot, that blade of the back foot, all the way through the fingertips, and then slowly just inch your weight forward. And pretty soon, you can lift that right foot. And then lift that right foot up, pointing fingers forward. Now contract both your hands and your knee back towards your body. Let that right foot land. And then tip back on the right foot, lifting the left toes. Fingers facing the inside, towards the chest. Embracing the moon. Slowly coming up. Now we'll step our right foot out. Once again, take a minute to orient the body towards the right. Because we're going to point to the right. Point to the moon. Energy from the blade of the foot back through the fingertips. Now just keep shifting your weight forward. Pretty soon the left foot is light. Lift the left foot, bend forward, point forward. Now contract both the hands and the knee back towards the body. Land the left foot. Rock the weight back on that left foot. Sink back, right toes up, hands facing the body. Slowly come up. Bring the right foot back at shoulder width. We'll do one more side of each. Left foot out, orient the body left, point to the moon, shift the weight forward, right leg comes up, body pointing forward. Now contract back, the arms towards the body, the knee towards the body. Land the foot, now shift the weight back. Feel the hamstring stretch on the left. And now we'll slowly come up. Step the right foot out. Orient the body to the right. Now point to the moon. One line of energy. Slowly shift the weight forward. Left leg is light. Lift the left leg. The body fall forward. Now contract back. Land the left foot. Shift the weight back to the left foot. Lift the right toes. Fingers pointing towards the body, embracing the moon. And then we'll slowly come up. Bring the right foot back to shoulder width. Embrace the moon. Point to the moon. So now that we stirred up all that chi, let's move it just a little bit, gently. So come to the back of your mat. We're going to kind of work our way forward. So once again, we're going to heaven and earth align. Heaven, earth, humans. So we're going to move the chi between heaven and earth, yin and yang. So let's bring the hands up, step out with the left, and cast out and down. Slowly bending forward. Now scoop up the chi along that left leg and the side body. Then we're going to cast forward again, just slowly moving down. So not falling forward, just a slow, controlled down. Now slow, controlled up. Just slowly moving. And cast down, grabbing that heaven chi, mixing it with the earth chi. And then up. Now this time, before we cast out, we'll step out with the right foot. We'll cast over the right side. Once again, slow and controlled and down. Just coming up the leg, coming up the side body. And then reaching out, grabbing some heaven, blending and mixing. Scooping the earth, bringing it back up to integrate. So we can think of this as throwing out what you don't need, gathering what you need. Earth being the yin and the quiet. So this time when we go down, we're going to actually reverse direction when we're down. So now we're going to scoop up the earth and mix it with the heaven. And bring it down over the body, then over the right side. Scooping that yin energy, blending it with the yang. Integrating the body. Do one more time on this side and then we'll step back. So step back with the right. And now we'll be scooping over the left. Left side body. Down. Just really slow, really controlled. Noticing that little postural firings as we shift the weight forward and backward. We're using those tiny little muscles. If we move slow, we can't count on momentum to propel our bodies. We've got to actually have control of those tiny little muscles, those part muscles. And then step back. Settle and clear. And release down. It's kind of like when you do a lunge in yoga. Let's say you're in down dog and you say, right foot forward. You can bring your right foot forward if you lift your foot high and ram it through, counting on momentum. We won't do it, but if we try that same thing, just from down dog, bring your right foot forward, really slow, without momentum. That's a lot tougher. Takes different muscles, takes different control. Both are good, both are needed. So let's just, once again, do a little gentle movement. We'll step out with our left foot. We'll do that hip slide. So check to see that your navel, your hip points, your belt buckle is moving over that left knee. As we shift our weight back, maybe the left toes come up. As we shift our weight forward, the right heel comes up. We can add the hands, just grinding that big stone granite wheel. The hub of the wheel is over the left knee. Grinding the soybeans to make the tofu. Just nice, gentle circles. So this isn't an exertion practice or part of the practice. This is just flowing, and this is just being soft and gentle with your body. Maybe noticing just that nice hip slide so you don't bend forward or backward. Your hips are like they're on a rail. Do one more round. As we step back, one of the best parts of this is just settling and clearing. Reminding ourselves just to settle and clear. So step out on the right. We'll do the right side now. Once again, take a moment just to orient your feet to where your hips are facing that right knee now. And you just have those hips on a slide, moving forward and backward. Upper body is staying straight, but not bending forward or backward. You can add the hands, once again, just gentle rotations of that big stone wheel. The hub of the wheel, the center of the wheel is over that right knee. Just slowly moving. Good. One more. And once again, step back and clear. Best part of it. So there's another part that we can add. We'll step out to the left, because there's different movements we can add besides just moving the stone wheel. We can offer, grab, and receive. So maybe you're reaching down, grabbing a chi ball, bring it back towards your body, and then we're going to scoop down again. Bring it back towards your body. Just soft, gentle fingers. Relax your shoulders, relax your arms. Once again, the exertion is behind us. This is just done to move. Just to feel soft, supple. If we had any fascial adhesions or whatever, we've got through those before. Now we just want to hydrate, move tissues around. Just be gentle and soft. One more, come back to the body, settle and clear. And we'll do the right side. Just once again, shifting the hips. Maybe imagine coming down, grabbing, bringing towards you, letting it wash over you. And maybe another one. Soft, relaxed fingertips. Just being gentle. Using those tiny little balance muscles to accommodate our shifting weight forward, our shifting weight backward. So sometimes it can feel a little bit wobbly. That's great. That's the body educating and re-educating itself. Because what was easy when you're a kid, if you don't use it, you got to reattach it. Reestablish those connections. One more. And then once again, settle and clear. The best part, just settling and clearing. So we'll do, this is new, but we'll do something called the Golden Exchange. And the Golden Exchange is nice because in traditional Chinese medicine, there's 12 channels in the body, and they run from over the head to the bottom of the feet. But this Golden Exchange movement covers the energy of our side, our front, and our back, and lets us move some of that chi in our channels. So we'll go slow. We'll do this a couple of times, but this is, once again, not a strenuous exercise. This is an integration exercise. So first we'll just bring our arms up, and then when we get to about shoulder height, just float back. Imagine that you're just literally a bird landing. Now we'll turn our arms up, reaching high up above, and then we'll bring the energy from above down towards the crown of our head, and then behind our neck, and around the front of the shoulders, And then start to bend over. Once again, we'll bring our hands back to our kidney. And then just come down our whole back line. Back of the thighs, back of the knees, back of the calves. When we get down, we'll ground in front of our feet. And then come up the inside of the feet. The inside of the calves, the knees. Then the top of the thighs, front of the thighs. And then along our midline, just tracing the energy along our midline. Let our hands bloom, almost look like flowers, forward. And then we'll trace our belt line towards the back. Just imagine your belt going back. Now push your fingertips back, palms up, reaching back. Now turn and we'll grab energy around front. So you'll rotate your palms facing forward as we come back towards the front, gathering and pulling that towards the navel, pulling it towards that lower dantian. And release your hands at your sides and then just literally push yourself up off the earth. And then relax. Relax the whole body. We'll do it again. You guys are doing good. So lift up. Just be a bird. Float back. Now lift high. Reach high. Grab the heavens. Bring it down to the top of the head. Now behind the neck. And then the front of the shoulders. Now around. Start to bend over. And those hands along the kidneys. And along the whole back line. Just giving yourself a nice little massage. And then ground your hands in front. We'll come up the inside of the feet, inside of the knees, front of the thighs, up the midline, up the sternum. Let the hands bloom. Just literally bloom forward. Trace the belt line to the back. Tracing back. Fingers back, palms up. Now bring those hands around, turning the palms forward as you come forward. Doing good. Gather all that energy, bring it back towards your navel, lower dantian, and release your hands along the sides. Push down on the earth, and then relax. We'll do one more. Lifting up, just like a bird. Float back down. Reach up to the heavens. Now bring that all that chi down to the top of your head, the crown of your head, behind your neck, front of your shoulders. Start to bend over. Bring that energy, your kidneys, along that backside, along the bladder channel that runs all along the back. Down, ground your hands in front of your feet. Now come up the inside of the feet, the inside of the calves and knees, front of the thighs. Up the sternum, bloom the hands forward. Letting them bloom. Trace the hands along the belt, all the way, fingers back, pushing back. Bring the hands around, palms forward, gathering, bringing that chi back to the lower dantian. Release your hands along the side, push down on the earth, and then relax. Relax the whole body. So your arms hang naturally, knees bent and soft. Lifting up from above, something pulling up from the crown of your head. Do one more and then we'll work our way into Shavasana. We'll just lift and lower. So imagine something's lifting the top of your wrists and then relaxing your knees, bending, softening, lowering back down. Now leading with the elbows out, expanding out. Now coming back to center. Soft fingers, soft hands. Inhale as you lift up, gently through the nose. Exhale, float back down. Now inhale out, just gentle. Imagine if you're moving through just some water or thick, foggy air. There's just no resistance, and yet you can feel some resistance. Lifting up, inhale. Exhale, float back down, bending the knees. Inhale out, opening out gently. Exhale, come back, bringing that back in. Last one, lifting up. And then lowering back down, exhale and hold. Now out. And then back in. Gently, gently coming back in. Relax your hands along your sides. And then make your way into Shavasana. So grab a pillow, blanket, whatever you need. If you're sitting in a chair, just make yourself even more comfortable than what you are. Just relax. And whether you're seated or lying, notice your breath. Notice your inhale. Notice your exhale. Gently through the nose. Feel your abdomen rise on an inhale. Slowly return on an exhale. See if you can soften or melt. Feel the mat underneath your body as your body just melts and softens down. Releasing and just letting go. Now, for the next couple of minutes, just relax and release. Allow the integration of the movement, the energy that we stimulated and then hopefully integrated and balanced. We'll bring that all just into a softness, a fuzzy awareness that it's all good. Slowly notice your breath again. Notice your inhales. Notice your exhale. As we make our way to our seat, maybe you bring the soles of your feet to the mat. Maybe your arms, if it feels right, stretch above you, and then slowly rolling to your side, using your bicep as a pillow, you can push yourself up. If you are sitting already, just relax. We'll do a short breathing exercise. So we'll take an inhale, a full inhale, and then a little bit more, and then we'll exhale. You can either exhale through the mouth or maybe just keep it through the nose, but keep it slower if we go through the nose. So we'll inhale, full inhale, and then a little more, and then exhale. So full inhale, and a little more, and then exhale. It's tempting to fill up the chest. Let's still fill up just the abdomen. Go at your own pace, and if it's comfortable to exhale really slow, do it. That's even more fantastic. But full inhale, another inhale, and then exhale. Just continue with that for just a little bit on your own, at your own pace. Just play with it, short, fast, just 2 inhales, and then an exhale. So we'll close our practice by bringing our hands together, gathering chi and prana and heat. Slowly bring our thumbs to our third eye to help us hopefully perceive more clearly. Our chin or our lips, so we can communicate more clearly. And then to our heart, so we can really feel, really know more clearly. Release your hands. Thank you for practice. I hope you have a wonderful and happy day.